One of the things that we talk about a lot is BMD, but there's a lot of new people coming into the industry that may not even know what BMD is. So fundamentally, just explain to our audience, what is BMD? Like fundamentally, what is it trying to do? What is it? Why are we doing it?
Yeah, and we use so many acronyms. And like if I get a new employee in there, we're talking about PG, BMD,
Right.
SSD, and what are all these things? Well, first off, balanced mix design.
Yes.
And as a friend of mine who's an engineer said, oh, it's end result testing, it's performance engineering. And no different than in the concrete world where they test cylinders to look at a break strength. We haven't done really end result testing to the extent where we're at. So it's a simple way to look at the channeling or rutting that could happen in a roadway, and then look at the cracking that could happen in the roadway and try to the reason we call it balanced is if I go too far one way, I'll rut. If I go too far the other way, I'll crack. Now, there's a lot more to it, but in the simple term, we're just balancing rutting and cracking. So balanced mix design.
And why are we doing it now, I guess, is why have we not done this in the 60s or the...
we tried.
You know, we tried, okay.
We tried. Well, okay. First, if I had been in the 60s, I wouldn't remember it.
You'd be a little old.
But I was born 69, okay?
Okay.
So,
year.
yeah, great year, you know, and the moon landing and everything right after that. Right.
Great year.
So here we are, and when I came through SuperPave, there were 3 levels that happened. SuperPave level 1 was volumetrics.
Right.
SuperPave level 2 added on this thing called the indirect strength, where we looked at creep and compliance. It already sounds complicated, doesn't it?
Right.
And then they had the SuperPave shear tester.
Okay.
The SST, where you measured shear modulus and rutting through shear flow, and that was shear exhaustion is what it was. and then you had level 3, right?
Yeah.
Which was that plus more testing.
Yeah.
And everybody had this idea, and then these items go to the DOTs, and they said, we're going to deliver these items.
Yeah.
Only a couple of states got them, and who's going to run them? How are we going to do it? We don't have room for this stuff.
Gotcha.
And so everybody hit the pause button. They said, you know, the SuperPave gyratory level 1 fixed our biggest issues. It fixed the rutting problem. Cracking was not as bad of an issue in most areas. So it fixed that problem. So we just sort of stuck with it.
Yeah.
Now at the same time, RAP comes online. Materials are always changing.
Which is recycled asphalt.
Oh, another acronym.
Yeah. Just trying
recycled or
keep it simple.
reclaimed asphalt pavement.
Right.
So it comes online. SuperPave wasn't built for that. Polymers were, you know, also trying to get into this piece of it. They'd been around, just now getting included into to all this. So all of this is happening at once.
Right.
And as soon as you create something, you got to start tweaking it. And that's just what happens in life, right?
Yeah.
And go to a website. You know, a website's always changing. Well, SuperPave, we weren't ready to change it so fast. So here it comes. And we're pretty good. And then folks start noticing late 2000s, 2010, hey, we've got cracking.
Right.
And we're going to have to, what are we going to do? And it gets more and more. An example, you know, in some of these states, you've heard stories like the materials guys get called in and they say, fix our cracking problem.
Right.
NCAT went out and did a survey. And I think it was like 2012, 2015, something like that. And when and it was through one of the NCHRP studies, National Cooperative Highway Research Program. And when they got out there and they found out that it's reflective cracking, but transverse cracking, longitudinal cracking, block cracking, all this cracking's happening. Absolutely. And then down at the bottom's rutting.
Yeah, right.
So we fixed this, but now we've got this.
Right.